So I've been creating these paintings on spheres recently, and actually one of these balls is very little use for making one of these paintings, because the thing about this is it takes it about 180 degrees of the room, and whichever way you turn it, it takes it in a slightly different way actually, whereas this is sort of actually static. In a sense, the image is static, although it's on a curved surface. It appears to move as it kind of goes past you. Everything sort of bends in and out of perspective. But in this case, it really does move. You can't see more than 180 degrees at once. So this is quite different. People assume that this is the way that that is made. It's not. It's a painting on a spherical canvas of Muspole Workshops, which is where my studio is based. And it is meant to exhibit a sort of infinitely shifting perspective, an inverted view of everything that you would see at a certain point, and that means that the perspective is constantly bending, so that you always face on to the bit you're looking at, and it's as if you're stood on a staircase, and you can, if this thing spins around, see up the stairs towards the top of the staircase and down the stairs to the floor below. It took several months to paint. It's part of this series called Infinite Perspectives, which is meant to, I thought it would be nice to make paintings that reflected more of the way that we really see, and something of, in a sort of uncanny way, and these paintings are meant to do that. One of the challenges with them is thinking about the paintings as a composition, when there is no sort of static element to the painting. You can never see the painting all at once, so somehow you need to think about how to get kind of vistas within the painting without having a static viewpoint, and those are the things that excite me about this piece, because in a sense I think it's sort of a radical approach for realist painting, and realist painting is sort of inherently the opposite of sort of a radical art form, but actually to create something which has no fixed composition and no fixed perspective and no isn't a flat surface, is kind of halfway between a sculpture and a painting, is to some extent radical. I could give it a sort of time capsule feel, perhaps presenting famous figures from the 20th century or 21st century together on one sphere. I think 20th century perhaps is a bit more likely, mainly because the prominent figures from that era have been sort of somewhat decided. I teach life drawing, and I'm very aware of the realities of the way that we see, and perhaps the inadequacies of like a flat painting in terms of representing the fact that we see this kind of combination of viewpoints. I also have a sort of interest in teaching perspective, but also the carnivalesque and sort of circus mirrors and curiosities and the uncanny, and sort of trying to present the extraordinary, often finding the extraordinary within the everyday, and you know, these are a lot about that.